Action. Hello and welcome, community, to another MilSpouse Influencer interview. And today we have Britni Miltner joining us. I'm really excited about this. I met Britni digitally, as we all do in this huge world of moving military spouses, through the community. And her and I connected, and I loved her story, and I loved her, the vision and the intention of what she's doing. So I said, I really have to get you on here and share your vision. So I'm really excited. And Britni, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Moni, so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here and share my story with you.
Awesome. Well, you are a Navy spouse. You are the founder of Oaktree and the creator of MilSpouse Resources blog. So you definitely have a lot going on. And so we want to get all the intel on that. So tell us, let's just jump right in. Tell me a little bit about where you are, what got you started, and just share your story with us.
Yeah, so we are in San Diego right now, and I've been married to my husband who's in the Navy for 10 years. We met back in Atlanta where I'm from, and I've been working in corporate America since 2006, and I've been working remotely for them since 2008. So I do have that corporate job going on, but a couple of years ago, I kind of saw where my friends were going, my fellow MilSpouses who had degrees and they couldn't find jobs anywhere. And, I was blessed that I didn't have that problem. So I knew that there was something that I had to do. And I knew that there was something that there was information out there that couldn't be found. So I started on a whim, MilSpouse Resource. I had no idea how to blog. I had no idea how to do any sort of website. And, I consider myself an expert Googler, so I just kind of was taking all of my Google and my Facebook, the Facebook groups were getting really big back then, and everybody was sharing information. So I started just kind of compiling all the information that I was finding into this blog. And that started in 2015. And then when we moved and my husband deployed and, you have all this extra time on your hands, right? Mm-hmm. So I have a 2.5-year-old, and when she would go to bed at night, I was not going to pay $15 an hour for a babysitter for them to come and sit and watch her sleep, right? So I'm like, I got to do something else. So I started to get this idea about some sort of way for military spouses to utilize this fantastic network that we have and to connect us for service jobs, which is where Oaktree came from. Okay. So babysitting, photography, all that kind of cool stuff. I just knew that there was a way that we could utilize our network in a way that we maybe have been doing through Facebook groups, but there was no specific space to actually do it. So that's where Oaktree came from, and I'm in the process of working on that now.
So tell me a little bit about the MilSpouse Resource. What is the whole idea behind that? How can somebody get involved?
Yeah, so it's just a website. It's milspouseresource.com, and it just talks about portable careers. It gives interview advice. It talks about entrepreneurship. There's different blogs. I have guest bloggers a lot. Since I'm not really a blogger myself, I'm okay. I'm not the best.
Right.
But I do have guest bloggers come on and get, and share their stories, and I feature entrepreneurs on there. And so I have a Facebook group that's MilSpouse Support and Inspire, Military Spouse Support and Inspire, on Facebook. And we just kind of lift each other up, ask questions about, interview questions and where you can find portable jobs. And as I find portable jobs, I share them in the group, or I share them on MilSpouse Resources Facebook page.
Wow, I love it. And then Oaktree, tell us where that's going, because that's fairly new, right? Tell us how we can get involved with that.
Yes. So it launches on October 1st. So it's not 100% live yet. I'm still working on some tweaks behind the scenes. But it will launch October 1st, and it's going to start out as an Android app. So it'll be a website and an Android app, and then eventually we'll get into the iPhone, the Apple, the Apple platform. It's just
I know,
they are crazy.
I have a designer for you if you're interested.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's pretty phenomenal. So that would be cool. Well, I'm excited. Tell me about, so how does your husband feel about all this? How's the transition been? Because you're saying you do work from home with this corporate job, but adding adding basically two other almost businesses. Although, you know, sometimes I say we have these groups and these things that we're doing, and they're not necessarily bringing us passive income, but we're planting seeds, right? And then we're cultivating relationships that lead to more networking and referrals that lead to, you know, building the income. So managing these communities, it's like a job, right? It's like essentially two more jobs. So I completely get it. So tell us the transition, like how does that work for you and your family at home?
You know, we're still working on that just because, you know, my husband's schedule, as we all know, their schedules are really crazy. And so since I am able to work from home on breaks in between my corporate job, I'm able to kind of pop in and check email with Spouse Resource or Oaktree. And then at nighttime, I'm able to focus on it after my daughter goes to bed. And my husband is really easygoing, and he's not really somebody who requires a lot of attention. So that's fine. But I'm just, you know, I'm kind of, when Oaktree, I'm really anxious about it. I'm excited, but I'm anxious because I just don't know how much time it's going to require. Right. So I guess we'll find out when that happens. So we're just kind of, the transition, you know, right now has been okay, but I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes, right? So, I know for us, like a lot of scheduling, we have to do a lot of scheduling. Do you guys schedule a lot of your time to, you know, like you said, you kind of working in between? Do you guys use a scheduler? What kind of tools do you guys use to stay connected? Because I know he has events and things that he's doing as well.
Yeah, so we're really good about, you know, I would say there's a good hour after our daughter goes to bed. He and I kind of sit down and like we watch our favorite TV show together. We always plan for maybe 30 minutes to an hour each night to just, even if it's just sitting in front of the TV and vegging together, that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's the way we connect, because he's not much of a talker. So, you know, so that's our special way. And it's not a scheduled time. It's just, okay, we're both here. We're both going to just enjoy each other's company. Or we're lucky enough to live walking distance to my daughter's preschool. So if he's home, we'll take a walk with the dog and go over and pick her up. And then as a family, we'll walk after.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's a quality time.
No, it's just little tidbits of quality time here and there. You get what you can get, right?
Yeah, you're telling me. So that brings me to my next question. So how do you manage the productivity? Do you have all these things going on? I know you said you kind of do stuff in between here and there. Like, what are some of your favorite tools that you use to help you stay organized or on track, or like something you just couldn't live without?
Yeah, so my planner, I keep an in-person planner. I don't do Google Calendar is great, but like I'm one of those nerds that I have to write everything down, and if it's not written down, then I have no idea that it's
right.
So I'm a little old school with my planning, with my tools, but it's that planner. You know, Gmail is really great. Gmail has some great tools that you can use. Like I do notes to myself all the time in Gmail, and honestly, I'm at my desk all day long, every single day. So it's not like I'm on the go and I need to remember things all the time. It's like sticky notes everywhere. So yeah. I may not be, it's like organized chaos.
But it is like when you're an entrepreneur, right? That's what happens. It's a lot of organized chaos when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely use a planner too. I just fell in love with Trello board. Like we're having a love affair right now. I'm like on there all the time, and I use these. Like I like to take notes.
Yeah, I do the notes too. Yeah,
I have the worst handwriting, so sometimes I'm like, dang it, what did I write? And I have to like.
Well, I do the same thing. And you know what they say though about messy handwriting is the messier your handwriting is, the smarter you are, because you're trying to get all your thoughts down. So like,
oh, gosh,
I'm a genius. I don't know about you.
Too, girl. Oh gosh. Tell me a little bit about how people can get, like, if somebody wanted to create something like Oaktree, like some kind of community, what are some of the tips that you would give a spouse who wants to venture off and do like a blog or create some kind of resource? What are some great tips?
Yeah. So just ask for help. Connect with somebody that maybe you admire their work, or maybe you know that they have that skill set. ask for help. I guarantee you there's somebody in this military spouse community who is willing to take you under their wing and help you out and at least give you pointers if they don't, if it's a service that you want to pay for, if it's something where it's like a mentorship. I personally contacted Wise Advise because I knew, I know you're a part of that too. And I love the team at Wise Advise. I contacted Diana.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a great group of folks. And Diana really kind of helped me put my vision into reality, and they held my hand so that I wasn't able to go off track. So we had constant communication, and since I'm by myself and I don't have a partner in this business with me, it's kind of easy to be like, I'm just going to do it later.
Right.
I'm just going to push this aside. But because I had consistent meetings with the Wise Advice team, and they'd be like, okay, this is what we're going to do, and here's our timeline, it kept me on track.
Right.
So having that help, no matter who it is, and I would recommend definitely somebody who is doing already what you want to do or something similar to what you want to do to learn, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. But just jump into it. Just do it. Just try it. Like with MilSpouse Resource, I had no idea what I was doing. And I went to blogger.com. I think that's what it is. Is that the Google, the Gmail, whatever that is?
Yeah.
And just started my own thing. And I got so crazy obsessed with it that I just, and it evolved, and everything evolves over time as you learn and grow and get better and changes. And it's really cool. So.
Right. Well, I'm excited. I didn't know you worked with Wise Advice. That had to have been before I came on board.
I started working with them in March, I think is when we had our first initial call. So you just, right?
Yeah, so I just started working with them on their team in the end of June.
Okay.
So yeah, so they're a pretty great team. It's really nice working with them, and how inspiring, Diane, just being able to reach out to your resources, and I think also having the the digital world allows us to feel like, hey, we can reach out to you and get help. And I think a lot of times spouses don't ask for help. They're just intimidated to ask.
Right.
Or they feel too vulnerable to ask. Well, then I would seem this way or that way. Or they're scared of what the response they're going to get. So I think, like you said, a great tip is just ask for help and reach out to somebody that is doing what you want them to do. That's very valuable.
Yeah. And, I was one of those lurkers for a little while where I was really timid, and I didn't want anybody to tell me that my idea wasn't good, or, I always had that fear. And I think everybody has that kind of fear. Mm-hmm. And you just have to jump in. You just have to ask the question, do you mind helping me? Or can I ask you a couple of questions? You're doing so awesome. What kind of tips can you pass on to me? And you'd be amazed how many people, especially in our fantastic community, are willing to help.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I love it. And that's what the MilSpouse Creative is all about. Just asking for help, kind of putting yourself out there. And there are some lurkers, or I like to call them flowers on the wall.
Oh, that's a better term than a lurker. Okay. Yeah. Because lurking sounds
I like to call them flowers on the wall because they're just watching. Somebody's planted a seed, and they're waiting for that one thing to grow it.
Yeah.
And so by others asking questions and sharing valuable content and information, or their wins or their losses, I think is helping that spouse transition herself to doing that, or himself to actually taking action on their dreams, right?
Absolutely.
How long were you thinking of Oaktree before you actually did it?
So I had this idea. I probably had the idea for about a year, and it kind of fluctuated. First it was going to focus on military spouse photographers, because, photographers are all over the place, and it's a great business for military spouses. And then I was like the idea changed so many times. And so when I had that call with Diana, and she was like, okay, let's make this happen. And I was like, oh, this is real. This is real. Okay, let's do this.
Wait, this is really happening.
I know. I was like,
but you had somebody to hold you accountable, and somebody to she took that seed and said, bam, this is what we're doing. This is a freaking fabulous idea. It's a great fit. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, you do need you need somebody to give you that little kick in the pants sometimes, which is great.
Yeah, that's true. I think we all need that. And like as creatives, we're always thinking of ways to make things better or add more stuff when we're not finished with stuff.
Right, right.
So
Like they've
like
had to rein me in a couple times. They're like, all right, come on, that's like maybe 5 years down the road. And I'm like, I know, but it's so cool.
I know it's crazy. So we do the same thing. So the Mill Spouse Creative is the same thing. Like we have
Yeah.
this idea and I want to do this and then I want to do this. And it's like, wait, we need to do like one thing at a time to make sure it's cohesive and it's a good fit and all of that. So that's awesome. I love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about what you find the hardest in transitioning, like your business while moving and being an active, since your spouse is still active duty, you guys move still. What are some of the struggles you guys face and how do you overcome them?
Well, so we're Mill Spouse Resource started. We've been in San Diego for 2 years, and we'll be moving again in February to Tennessee. So we haven't really like moving for me has been no issue with my corporate job because I'm allowed to work from home. So for me, I've been blessed where I haven't been able to, I haven't had that struggle. For Mill Spouse Resource, when it moved from where we were before in Jacksonville, Florida to here really wasn't that big of a deal because it just was a blog. So this is going to be a new thing for me with Oaktree, and I'm going to be learning how it goes. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of transition there that I'm going to experience for the first time, just like any other military spouse entrepreneur. So if you have any tips, I'd love to hear them.
You may want to hire somebody just to take care of things for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And I know that for me, I have found it very hard in transitioning as well, but we haven't moved yet since I started my PR company, and then the Mill Spouse Creative. I haven't moved, but there have been a lot of moving parts, and sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, I have to do this for that, and I have to do this for that, or I'm on vacation, or I'm at an event for 3 days, and it's like you're still having to post or respond to email. So maybe having somebody I would say like hiring somebody like for a few hours while you're transitioning is probably going to be golden.
Okay.
So that nothing really falls off.
That sounds like some solid advice.
Yeah. Even if it costs a little extra money, it'll be so nice not to think about it. Like to know that at least the email's being answered. It might not be exactly what it needs to be done, but somebody's answering it and saying, hey, these are the basic answers, or just whatever it is that you get, because we all get flooded with emails randomly.
Right. Right.
So, I would definitely outsource somebody or something.
That's a really good point. With my corporate job, I'm so conditioned to, we have to reply within 30 minutes to an hour because our business where I work is so email based. So if somebody doesn't reply back to me in like within 30 minutes, and I forget that other people have real lives and they're like out doing things and not sitting at a desk all day long, I'm like, why are they not answering me? So I have a really bad habit of, if I hear that ding on my phone, I'll immediately reply back.
Right.
So that's, when you're moving, you don't have that ability to reply back because you've got your hands full doing whatever because the 2.5-year-old has torn the house down or whatever.
Oh my gosh. I remember those days. My baby's 5, so I definitely get it. But so it sounds like you guys have a pretty good, like a good transitional plan. You guys have your schedules down. What if somebody wanted to join Oaktree or the Mill Spouse Resources? What are some of the ways they can get onto these platforms?
Yeah, so Mill Spouse Resources, just millspouseresource.com. They can go on there and look at the blog, and if they want to submit a guest blog post, I'm accepting also. You don't have to be an experienced blogger because we all got to start somewhere, right? So just send me an email about something that you want to write about, and you can get that information from millspouseresource.com. And then the Military Spouse Support and Inspire group on Facebook, it's linked to the Mill Spouse Resource Facebook page. And then Oaktree, when it launches on October 1st, you just go to Oaktree Network, because Oaktree was taken by somebody else, so I had to make it Oaktree Network, right? And they wanted to sell me the domain for a crazy amount of money, but
yeah, that's ridiculous.
yeah, I'm like, okay, Oaktree Network will be just fine. So oaktreenetwork.com, and then there is a questionnaire we're verifying to make sure that you're a military spouse. Only military spouses at this time are allowed to join. So it'll just ask a couple of questions. And then once it's approved, then you can go on the site and start listing your talents, your photography talents, your doula talents, your location-specific talents that you have, tailoring talents, housekeeping, whatever.
Yeah, so it's like anything and everything.
Yeah, if you do wine and canvas parties out of your house or, whatever.
So you can do multi-level marketing as well. So like if you're a Mary Kay consultant or something like that, you can put your information.
No, so the way that Oaktree works is it's kind of like Fiverr, if you've used Fiverr or Upwork, where the transaction is done on the website. So with most MLMs like Mary Kay or LuLaRoe, you have to use their, I think, platform for the monetary transaction. So with Oaktree, it gives you a secure place to do your transactions on the website, and then you can earn credits by referring your friends to use on the site.
Oh, so there's a whole process. We skipped that part. Tell me, so tell me how to use it. So I go on there, I upload all my stuff.
Yeah.
What do I do?
So you are offering pet walking services and childcare services, and you can list as many talents as you want on the site. And then I am looking for someone to walk my dog every day, and I find you in my zip code, and you have listed your services on there. You and I can connect, and then we decide on your frequency, your dates, all of that kind of stuff, and then we do the transaction on the site. And then after we're done, we can rate each other. So
gotcha.
You can have, if you're PCSing, you can have your reputation, your 5-star reputation move with you, so that you're not constantly having to like advertise in Facebook groups. You can say, I'm a great dog walker. You can say, just look at my Oaktree Network profile.
Love it.
And, people can search for you by zip code. So.
Wow. So if I was a stylist, I couldn't, so if I do have MLM, I can't do it on there.
No, and the only reason why is because of the transaction reasoning.
Right. So you pay on there.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I love it. I love the process. And I like that there's a rating for it as well. Kind of like a, what's the little thing you go around eating or doing stuff and then you rate them like a.
Yelp. Oh, like Yelp? Yeah. It's kind of like Yelp. So your mobile reputation goes with you as you move.
I love it.
So like you type in your zip code and it pops up, Moni is a dog walker and XYZ is a dog walker, and like you can read their reviews.
Right.
And I can choose you if you're closest to me or if I like your services best or your reputation is the best.
Well, I got to go on there and put my stuff on there.
Yeah, you do.
I got to get it together. I got to get it together. Another thing to add to my list. I just wrote it down.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to go right into lightning round, which share a little bit about. I like these because it kind of gets a little fun side of you, like what you do and stuff like that. So what is one talent that nobody knows you have? I've heard many crazy things.
Okay, so you would know this if you came out to karaoke with me, but I sing. But I did used to sing, like, in college. I did used to sing at bars. But, but, like, I am a karaoke hog. And if you take me to karaoke, I don't stop. So you may not want to go out with me.
I like to just people watch when I go to karaoke. And I'll get up and dance, but I'm not a singer. I'm just a backup dancer.
Oh, see, yeah. I love backup those. I mean, I don't know if that's like a talent. Like a karaoke is not really a talent, but I don't know.
It is a talent. It's your.
If people have enough cocktails, it might be a talent, right?
That's too funny. So if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Yeah. So I thought long and hard about this one, and I think it has to be like I want teleportation, like beam me up Scotty powers to like. Right.
So you could like just be here today for an interview.
Yeah.
We could be like having cocktails or lunch and like talking and
doing karaoke after. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could be your backup dancer, and you could be the singer.
Yeah. Sounds
That
good.
would work. I could be your J-Lo.
Sounds good to me.
The
The fly girl.
I love J-Lo.
I do too.
What is one superhero that you would be?
One superhero. Okay, so I would be the superhero that would bring fun to wherever you are. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we could do yoga, and then I'd bring wine and cheese, and we would have that after yoga. Or I could be like, I'd be just like the fun superhero. I don't know. Whatever your definition of fun is. If you need fun, then I will be there and I will save the day.
You're the fun superhero. I love it. I haven't heard that one. And I like to have fun. I'm always trying to have fun. As a matter of fact, every day is like a party.
Yeah.
My kids are always like, why are you dancing? I'm like, life is great. Or I'll be doing something like this morning. I was brushing my son's teeth and I was like, cha, 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 cha. Like, why are you doing that? I'm like, good morning. Like, what's wrong with you people?
Yeah, you gotta have some fun.
Yeah, and life is about having fun because everything else we do is so serious, right?
Well, I love there was one video that you did and your daughter, I think, was dancing behind the camera or something. I loved that. I was like, that's awesome.
I was like, if you don't, and she is like not the dancer in the house.
Right.
So why are you doing this now? Like, dancing is not your thing. Like, my middle one, she'll like have a dance off.
Right.
My oldest one, she'll just like do like one or two moves. And that day she was just like breaking it down. And I was like, but I'm doing something. Like,
right.
Wow.
The look on your face though was classic.
I was like, you are so rude. She was like, it's okay, boo-boo. Like, she's 13.
Okay.
So yeah, she had the nerve this morning. I wake up, I try to spend intentional time with the kids. And so she leaves for school at 6:35 and she gets home at 2:30. But at 2:30, I'm still working. Like, that's like my last 2 power hours before my other kids get home. So I wake up intentionally once a week or twice a week to like spend a little time with her. She's still in her bed. And I'm like, hey, babe, you are like late. And she's like, no, I'm not going to school today. And
oh, really?
I'm sorry, did I get a text? I checked my phone, girl. I was like, did you leave me a note? Like, what's happening? She's like, my throat hurts. I was like, that don't matter. You need to get up and go to school.
You're like, here's some Chloraseptic.
Yeah, I was like, you need to gargle. Go take all your medication. You have no fever. You're not throwing up. Go to school and get your life because that's the only job you have today. And she was like, but I'm not going. And I was like, nobody asked me if you're going. I'm in charge.
Right. Are you grown now? What's going on?
Girl, I did a double take in the dark, like, because I went in there and it was still dark and she told me that. And I was like, I looked around to see if somebody was looking at what was happening right here.
Am I on candid camera right now?
You telling me what you doing now? I'm confused. But she got up and she went to school and I said, when I'm sick and I don't feel well, you still have to do your job and your job is to go to school and get good grades. So you go do that. And then when you get home, you can go back to bed.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty tough. So yeah, the kids are pretty fun. You have the 2-year-old, so you're going through a lot of fun stages right now.
Oh God, girl. She's like a teenager, this one. She is something else, man. She had pictures at school yesterday at preschool, and I told them when I took her to school, I said, she's not going to sit for the picture. I guarantee you she's not going to sit. And they're like, oh, you never know. I said, I pull out the camera at home and she turns her head away. She does not want to get her picture taken. So lo and behold, when I picked her up, they were like, yeah, you're right. She like curled up into fetal position and didn't get her picture taken. I was like, I don't know what it is about this child, but if it's not her idea, she does not want to do it.
She's an innovator. She's like she wants to lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome though.
Definitely. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really excited we got together to do this.
Yeah.
Tell everybody in the community how they can get in touch with you, or we already talked about how to get on Oaktree. We already talked about the MilSpouse resources and that you're always accepting bloggers.
Yeah.
Tell us how to find you. Like, where can we get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can email me if you want to email me directly. I'm Britni at milspouseresource.com. And my name is spelled really weird, and it's not Britini. It's Britni. I get people calling me Britini all the time. So it's Britni at millspouseresource.com or Britni at oaktreenetwork.com. And I'm on LinkedIn, Britni Miltner, and Twitter is Millspouse Resource. Oaktree Network is on Instagram, and that's Oaktree_network. And did I leave anything out? I think I got everything.
I think we got Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn.
We got it all. Y'all connect with me.
What they come up with.
Yeah, right?
We have to be visible to everybody.
I know. And Pinterest I'm on, but I just don't get it yet. So don't.
Well, Pinterest is really good for your blog since you have a lot of people.
Yeah. I'm learning about Pinterest.
Well, cool. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really glad you had the time to chat with us and really share your journey of why you started Oaktree and Millspouse Resources. It's Millspouse Resources, right? Not
It's Resource. It's fine. It's just Millspouse Resource. You're good.
So I'm really excited that you got to share that with us. And community, thank you so much for joining us. Please reach out to Britni for any questions. Make sure you get your stuff on Oaktree Network. Yes. As soon as possible, October 1st, which by the time this airs, it'll be out. So get your stuff on there and collaborate with other spouses in all across the country. Mm-hmm. And if you have a blog, send it over. They are always looking for bloggers. And thank you so much for joining us. And you guys check us out next time on the Millspouse Creative. These interviews are exclusive to our community. We do have some that have launched and been released from the vault onto our YouTube channel called Millspouse Creative TV. So head over if you've missed some interviews from the past season and check those out. And I will see you later. Bye, guys.
Thank you.